What's going on, guys? If you follow me on Instagram, you saw the other day I asked on my stories for you guys to post some questions for the next YouTube Q&A video, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. So I hope y'all will enjoy the video. I'm going to try to scroll through as many questions as possible. Got asked a ton of different questions. I'm going to try to get to as many as I can without making this video ridiculously long. So sit back, relax, and let's get to some questions. Alright, first question. What motivates you to keep competing? I would say a big factor that keeps me motivated to keep doing tournaments is one, I actually have a really good coach now, and two, I have really good training partners to train with as well. So that plays a really big factor. You guys know I used to compete a long time ago at my old Taekwondo school. Then for several years I had no coach, no training partners. So now that I actually have a really good coach, some good training partners, that's really what keeps me motivated to keep competing and keep on improving right now until I get too old to be out there sparring. So that's pretty much what keeps me motivated right now. Next, when are you going to have a seminar? I want to come train with you sometime. I haven't thought about putting on a seminar necessarily, but if someone wants me to come to their school and do a seminar for their school, I would be more than happy to do something like that. Definitely open to that. I'm looked down upon because of my belt. While I'm really good, do you think the belt really matters? I think rank matters to an extent. Just because someone else is higher ranked than you doesn't necessarily mean that they are skill-wise necessarily better than you. It does mean they have more experience in training than you. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're much better, but they are your senior. If they're higher rank, you still need to have that level of respect, but it goes both ways. They still need to respect you, not necessarily look down on you. Fun fact, when I was a blue belt, my very first tournament, I fought in the black belt division and I won. So that kind of plays a part in, I don't necessarily think that belt plays a huge factor in, like, skill-wise, you can be better than someone higher ranked than you, but like I said before, you still need to respect someone that's higher ranked than you because they are your senior. Alright, next question. How old was I when I got my black belt? I think I was 14 when I got my first degree black belt. Something like that. I was around 14. And what do you think about Poomsae training? So Poomsae training, I do think it is necessary. You need to know your forms. If you're a martial artist, you need to know your Poomsae. You need to know the traditional stuff. I know my Poomsae. I practice them, but I absolutely hate Poomsae. It's probably my least favorite thing to train. I think they're so boring. Absolutely hate it. I just care about sparring. But that's what I think about Poomsae training. You need to know your forms. You need to practice them, but it is my least favorite thing. I don't enjoy training Poomsae at all. Next question. What about Taekwondo do you enjoy besides sparring? Kicks? Does that count? Really? I mean, I love sparring and kicking. I mean, those are just the things that I love the most about Taekwondo. I don't really care about the other stuff as much. I train everything else, but what I really enjoy is sparring. I like kicking people. I like to kick. Next, go-to technique, anything to the head. How long did it take you to get a black belt? It took me about 4 years to get my certified first degree. How old were you when you first started Taekwondo? I was 11 years old. Why do you want to join Taekwondo? I didn't want to join Taekwondo. My parents forced me into it, but I'm glad I stuck with it. Have you ever pursued or considered pursuing a martial art other than Taekwondo? For a little while, after I got my black belt, I did train in MMA a little bit here and there, roughly on and off for like a year or so. I did a little bit of like Muay Thai, kickboxing, and some jiu-jitsu. So I did train a little bit in that, and I did enjoy it then because I was kind of getting a little bored of Taekwondo. But now that I'm really back into it, really involved in it, I'm just really passionate about Taekwondo and competing right now. But I do have experience doing some MMA, some jiu-jitsu, and some stand-up as well. Are you also a Poomsae player? No, I don't like Poomsae, as I said earlier. How do you start and end your practice? It really varies. Some of my warm-ups can be like jump roping, stretching, or sometimes some of my sessions I warm up with like 200 kicks. In my practice, kind of varies as well. Sometimes I'll do stretching, sometimes like jump roping, just a little bit of everything. It really just varies what I'm training that day. Your next tournament will be AAU Nationals in July in Fort Lauderdale. What is your favorite drink after your training or sessions? My favorite drink, the best thing ever after a hard training session is drinking a nice cold Gatorade or Powerade. That's just my favorite thing to drink. How did you feel the first time you got into a tournament? Were you nervous or did you have fear? Of course, definitely. I was super nervous. I almost just wanted to back out and not compete at all, but I'm glad I got in there and did it. Even to this day, you're going to be nervous. No matter what level of competition that you compete at, you're going to be nervous. No matter how experienced you are, you're going to always be a little bit nervous. It's normal. How do you train efficiently for tournaments? You're really good at sparring, by the way. Oh, thank you. I would say training for tournaments, you have to make sure that, one, you're training your cardio. Two, do a little bit of some type of like strength and conditioning type workouts. I don't focus a ton on that. I do a little bit of stuff. But the biggest thing that I focus on is kicking. I do a lot of kicking. Build up kicking endurance. You got to have that leg kicking endurance in your legs. And then also sparring. You just got to spar. You got to get some ring time. You got to spar. Those are the big things I focus on. What is your favorite part of Taekwondo? Sparring. Training tips for national tournaments. Kind of what I said before. Making sure cardio, a little bit of strength and conditioning, but really focusing on just building up kicking endurance and sparring. That's the biggest thing. If you guys keep following me, since I'm getting ready for nationals in July, you'll see kind of more what I'm preparing, what I'm doing to prepare for nationals. What nationality are you? I am half Korean, half American. What is your favorite kick and why? My favorite kick is probably a spinning hook kick. It's fun to throw, and it's something that it's not super basic, but it's not like extremely hard. I'm able to throw it pretty well, like I would say 99% of the time. So that's just it's always been my favorite kick, especially once I got it down, was able to throw it really good. What keeps you motivated? I would say having goals. I have a lot of goals in my martial arts journey that I have set, and that's what keeps me motivated to kind of keep training and keep working towards those goals. When will you get your third dan? Good question. I'm up to test for my third dan in next spring, so spring of 2020 is when I will be testing for third dan. How long would you recommend training before competing? I would say it kind of varies. It really just depends. If you are someone who's a little bit lower level rank, I would say just train really hard specifically for what you're wanting to compete at for maybe like 3 months, and then go try it like at a local lower level tournament, just kind of get a feel for it. You really just have to kind of get out there and just kind of do it and just kind of experience it. It's just a good experience overall, but also I would let that decision be made by your coach, whoever's training you. That way they know what level you're at, and they'll really know if you're ready or not too. How long did it take for you to know that YouTube was worth your time and effort? Good question. I would say once I started realizing and once it started sinking in that I was helping people all around the world, people of all different ages. I get messages from parents saying that I've helped their kids through my videos, or like teenagers, they've like said that I've helped them get better at sparring or get better at a kick, or even some older adults saying that they got back into it. My videos have been very helpful. It's kind of guide them through getting back into it, or even like some stretches and just some exercises. So really once it started sinking in that I was able to help people of all different ages all around the world, that right there really just made it worth it to me. How did you feel going into your first ever tournament? Super nervous, didn't want to do it, but like I said before, I'm glad I did. Have you done any other sports? I played soccer when I was little for like one season. I don't think I really did much. I didn't really like it that much. And then I tried to play soccer again in high school. Didn't work out too well. I ended up not doing it because I realized it wasn't for me. I went to one soccer practice, and remember the ball bounced right in front of me. It came up really high, like at my head level, and I roundhouse kicked it. And that's when I knew soccer wasn't for me, and I just needed to stick to Taekwondo. So, yeah. What is your favorite weapon? So I recently, in the last year and a half, started learning some weapons. I've learned a Screama, bow staff, nunchucks, sai, and sword. I think that's it. I would say right now, out of experiencing all those weapons right now, bow staff has been my favorite. But I think once I get better with the nunchucks, then those will be my favorite. But right now, I'm not very good at it, so they're kind of frustrating right now. But I think once I get good with those, nunchucks will be my favorite. But right now, bow staff's my favorite. Have you ever wanted to quit Taekwondo? Yes, like 6 months into it, I wanted to quit, but so glad I didn't quit. Should we do weight training or will it affect martial arts? I say go for it. If you want to do some weight training, it will definitely build up some strength, build up your muscle endurance. I say do it unless you see it having some type of negative effect on your martial arts training. Alright, how long did it take for you to get good at TKD? I would say a couple years. I started getting, okay, decent. And I would say once I got to black belt, I was decent at that point. So I would say kind of like, once I got my black belt, I was like here. And then I kind of got out of shape for a while because I didn't have a school. So I kind of got out of shape, tried to get back in shape, and just kind of like went up a little bit and then really plateaued for a while. So I was like here for like the longest time. And then I kind of started getting a little bit better, slowly, and then plateaued again. And I would say in the last 8 months, I've like gone up. So like I would say the last 8 months, I've really started to get a lot better. And mainly the reason for that is because I'm getting back into competing. I'm competing a lot more now, so I think all the training that I'm doing for that has really just helped me I'm on this uphill trend right now. So I think that's the biggest thing. But I would say initially, I would say a couple years, 2 to 3 years to get decent at it. And then really these last 8 months, I've really improved just the most. Gone from like plateaued to like going up now. So yeah, I would say that's it. Most challenging tournament fight so far? I would say ATU Nationals last year. That was definitely a hard fight. One, it was at 10:30 at night after waiting around literally all day long. So that was definitely a hard fight. I ended up tying it up. I was losing like the whole fight. I was down. I came back in the third round at the end of it, tied it up, and then I won in overtime. So that was definitely a really hard fight, and that was one that I really felt like I earned. I really fought and earned that first place then. How many tournaments have you competed in? I have no idea. I started competing in 2006, and I competed for a few years, and then there were several years where I didn't compete. But to give you an idea, for the last 2 years, I haven't competed that much in the last 2 years. In 2017, I competed once. That was my first tournament back in like 5 or 6 years. I competed once in 2017. Last year in 2018, I competed twice. And so far this year, I've competed twice. So that's like 5 times in the last 2 years. And then I've got nationals in July coming up here soon. And then I may compete again in this fall. But yeah, that's how much I've competed just in the last 2 years. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. Goals for Taekwondo. Example, make national team. Yeah, so I've got 3 goals for me right now for tournament wise. 1, first place at AAU Nationals. 2nd would be make AAU senior team. And 3, it'd be really cool to medal at the US Open. So I'm not saying all these are going to happen this year, next year, no. But if I could get 1, 2, or 3 out of the 3 things, then that would be awesome. But those are kind of my 3 things I would like to achieve, at least one of them. At least achieve one of them. But yeah, those are kind of the 3 things that are like my goals for competition-wise. And then aside from competitions, I would say just keep furthering my rank as a black belt, and maybe one day hopefully make it to mastership after competing. How many hours do you practice daily? I definitely train 4 days a week. Typically I train 5 days a week. And I would say each session is an hour to an hour and a half. Your best and worst Taekwondo moment? Best moment would probably be tournaments. At tournaments. Best moments are at tournaments. I would say those are definitely my my best moments. When I really earn first place at tournaments. Those are my best moments. Worst moment? Worst Taekwondo moment. Last fall, when I kicked someone's elbow in sparring practice and fractured the top of my foot. Worst moment. Definitely, yeah. Because I was out of training for a while after that. What's your mindset when down in points? It's a good question. Mindset when down in points. I would say to not give up. Like, that's like the number one thing you want to do when you look at the scoreboard, you're tired and you're losing. The biggest thing you want to do is just give up. But my mindset is, and it's always been this, even if I'm losing, even if I'm down by, whether I'm down by 2 points or whether I'm down by 10, I'm going to still just keep on kicking. That's the thing. You just got to keep on kicking. Even if you know for a fact you're probably not going to come back and win in your head, you still need to think that even if I'm going to lose, I'm going to give you a hard time. I'm going to make it hard for you to win. You know, you don't want to be that one who just like gives up and then just makes it easy for your opponent in the last 20 seconds of the round. You just let them have it. No. Even if you're going to lose, you might as well go kick and kick and kick for the last 20 seconds and just make it hard for them. Even if you know they're going to win, even if they're going to win, you need to make it hard. Give them a fight. So yeah, when you're down in points, you just got to keep going. You know, just give them a fight. Just keep kicking. Just don't stop until the ref says time is up. Alright, next question. Oh my gosh. From my lovely husband, honey, where is my dragon bracelet? That is probably the number one question I get from my husband every day.
I found it.
Good. He loses his bracelet all the time and he always blames me for it. He says I'd steal it and throw it away. If not Taekwondo, what martial art would you have trained in? Probably kickboxing, because I like kicking. Have you trained Taekwondo ITF? No, I am only trained in WTF, WT Taekwondo. Favorite Game of Thrones character? Arya. Next question. When are you going to get pregnant? Probably never. My husband and I, neither of us really want to have kids. We just want to have some more dogs in the future. So as of now, that's my answer. Alright guys, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for asking me all of the different questions. If you are not following me on Instagram, make sure you go follow me at AlexWongTKD. That way you don't miss any other future Q&As. You can follow this guy too at Jack and Woody. Yeah, Jack and Woody. If you want to see his muscles. But thank you so much for asking all the questions. You guys are awesome. I tried to get to as many as I could, but you guys asked a ton of different ones, so obviously I couldn't get to all of them, or this video would have been way longer than I wanted it to be. But don't forget to subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. Next thing I have coming up is Nationals in July, so the next several videos are going to be me prepping for that. I'm going to try to show a little bit more of the different types of training I'm doing, diet, all that good stuff. Try to do a little bit more vlogs here in the future as well. So I hope y'all are looking forward to that. Otherwise, let me know what other stuff you want to see in the comments down below. I'll see you guys later.